Today's video is brought to you by Dave the Diver, a beautiful pixel and 3D graphics game with a unique art style that takes place in the mysterious blue hole. It's a hybrid marine adventure game, and it's all about deep sea exploration, as well as a mix of 2D and 3D restaurant management. It truly is a stellar combination of various game genres, allowing you to feel the sense of adventure, as well as the tycoon genre especially. So make sure you head over to your Steam wishlist and save Dave the Diver, that way you're updated on the release. The game will be going into early access starting on October 27th this year PDT. And the early access will provide 3 chapters with about approximately 10 to 12 hours of gameplay. It also has multi-language support including English, Japanese, Korean, and Chinese. I really do think the combination of the different graphics really allows a beautiful sense to the underwater scenery, as you get to join Dave and his eccentric friends down on their adventure. And adding on top of that the combat as well as the engaging, immersive story, I truly think this is an experience worth checking out. So make sure you head over to Steam and save Dave the Diver to your wishlist and be ready for the early access on October 27th PDT. I was about to do the intro of this video, and I think I just choked on nothing. That or my room is haunted by a gay ghost, because I legit went to speak, and it was just like, and then, yeah. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about manga covers. Now, they usually say don't judge a book by its cover, but I would be completely lying to you if I didn't say that sometimes with a series, it's the covers where I'm like, oh, this seems relatively interesting, right? Be it at a store or online. And that's usually how I decide what stories I'm going to read, outside of the recommendations that I get from so many of you down in the comment section below. But I think it's really cool sometimes to really just look and admire the art that is even being done on the covers, just the sheer amount of effort that's put into them, or if an author's trying to do something aesthetic and just have that be consistent. I know series have different covers based off of different releases in certain regions, and some authors even try to do something where all the covers are connected. I think Urasawa's usage of that in Monster is very apparent, or when you put all the covers together, it's like one giant wall with different paintings on it. I also think it's really cool when an author decides to go for a very different art style on the cover than they can do within their actual manga. I think Ishida's usage of that in the Tokyo Ghoul covers are amazing. These things look absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, the art in the Tokyo Ghoul manga, especially Tokyo Ghoul Re, is incredible as well, but without a doubt, the cover arts are just... And real quick, before getting into my favorite and least favorite from a handful of series I'll be getting into, I do want to get my favorite Volume 1 cover of all time out of the way. And there were a few that popped into my mind, but the one that stuck in my head the most is Fire Punch Volume 1. I think the cover just nails it. For your first volume, you have the main character on the cover. I think the dark blue tone for the background is a great contrast with the orange-reddish tones that are in the forefront with Agni, as well as a little bit of a YouTube thing here. When it comes to thumbnails, you usually want to include the character's face, like the neck up, because specifically that attracts people's eyes more when they see something that's recognizable, be it a face, more specifically the eyes. That's what their attention's usually drawn to instantly. As well, when it comes to color choice, red is the most attractive color to the human eye, and then I think green is right after that, which is the reason why I've used red heavily throughout my channel, and why other channels you'll see they'll use glowing red letters or glowing green letters. That's not a coincidence. And as you'll see later on in this video, even though I am a fan of super artsy things with many different characters and complex sort of backgrounds, I'm also a big fan of just minimalist. I think that's always been very apparent by my own choice with the channel, where it's really just the character, and if you want to do a solid background, that's perfectly fine with me. And since we were on Fujimoto, we might as well talk about Chainsaw Man, since the anime for this is also out. But I think my favorite covers are between 1, 4, and 5. But if I had to pick, I'd go Volume 5. I think this one's just gorgeous. My least favorite is definitely Volume 7 or 9. I'm probably going to say 9 because I kind of like the idea that it has with sort of like the character split up in between the intestine ropes. But Volume 9 for me, just, yeah, that one just kind of looks gross in comparison to the rest of them. Of course, I'm not speaking about the actual content in the volumes, and I know what's on the cover is a reflection of that, just simply from a visual standpoint. I'm not a fan. The next series we're going to get into is one that has usually more of a solid white background. Bleach does this a lot too, and that's The Gray Man. Now, when it comes to The Gray Man, I think my favorites are between 11, 12, and I think 21's the one with Alan, like, kind of with his arms behind his head. Those 3 are my favorite, and I can't pick between the 3 because I love them for many different reasons. 11, of course, just the color scheme that he uses. 12 as well, I really love the color selection with that. 21 is gorgeous. I would love that as a poster. My least favorite would be Volume 18. Since I brought it up, I might as well get into it. When it comes to Bleach, I think my favorites are 73, 51. I think it's Volume either 41 or 42 that has Tear Harabel on it. And because it has Tear Harabel, I'm going to go with that one. I love Volume 24 with Grimjow on it. My least favorite... Oh, no, wait. I also forgot Volume 71 with Nemu. That's the best one. Volume 71's the best one. Yeah. And Volume 13's dope with Kenpachi. I think my least favorite probably goes to Volume... that's tough. But I'd probably say Volume 29. I think Volume 29 is probably my least favorite of all. Look, I know technically I should only be picking one, but when a series has like 70 plus volumes, picking just one is hard, all right? I'm gonna just throw in Fire Force here as a whole. I don't really have a favorite or least favorite, but obviously I'm biased with the whole white and red thing they have going on. Now, we're gonna get into kind of the opposite of Bleach, which keeps things relatively simple, but Death Note. I absolutely adore the Death Note covers. I think Volumes 1, Volume 7, and Volume 10 are absolutely gorgeous. I think my least favorite would probably be Volume 5 just because of the color selection. I think that green looks absolutely gross. But Volume 12 is by far my favorite. I love that. I love how everything just kind of looks like one singular statue. And if that was made into a statue, I would buy it immediately. My favorite Naruto covers are probably Volume 63, if I'm not mistaken. That's the one with Obito, Kakashi, and Naruto on it. As well as the final one, just seeing Naruto in his Hokage uniform is probably the most satisfying thing for a Naruto fan to see. My least favorite of all the Naruto covers... Jesus Christ, oh my. All right. I should also mention, actually, the one with Itachi versus Sasuke as the primary cover. I forget exactly which volume that is, though. Man, this is tough, though, because, like, I don't really think Naruto has one cover I don't like. Although the one with Minato and Kushina holding Naruto as a baby is kind of boring, so I guess we'll go with that one. Although, you know, emotionally, that has a lot of significance. One Piece. I'm currently rereading One Piece, and I plan on doing a video where I actually give my honest thoughts on the series. But out of all the covers, I think 97, 100, I'm trying to remember which volume had Whitebeard on it. I think that one's 57. There's also Volume 59, which is great as well. Volume 79 with Doflamingo as well is dope. I'm going to be here all day if I keep listing ones that I like. Ones that I don't like would probably be Volume 25. I think the color choice on that one just isn't it. I'm not crazy about that tone of orange with that green as the... When it comes to the Berserk volumes, my least favorite, I'll get that one out of the way, is Volume 2. No, actually, Volume 3. Him holding the dragon, first of all, it doesn't fit with what happens in Black Swordsman, as well as I don't really like how it looks. My favorite, by far, is Volume 12. I think there are other great ones as well, like when he gets the Berserk armor. If I'm not mistaken, that's Volume 28. I think Volume 27's iconic, of course, but without a doubt, though, Volume 12, just Griffith in the Baylet shell is just, it's gorgeous. Now, this is going to be a bit of a hot take, but I'm actually not all that crazy about Jujutsu Kaisen's manga covers for the most part. I think for me, it's really just the color selection and choice. I think it's really unique, don't get me wrong, and by no stretch of the imagination are they artistically bad. I'm just not a big fan of most of them. Although, if I had to pick between my favorites, if I could count Volume 0, then I'll count it. But 1, 4, and 7, I think my least favorite's probably 8. Yeah, I think 8 or 6 is probably my least favorite, although 5 is pretty meh as well. Tokyo Revengers has some really clean covers, though. I think the one with Draken on it's my favorite. My least favorite, I don't know. I don't want to talk about Tokyo Revengers right now. My favorite for JoJo's, oh my lord, we're going to be here all day. JoJo's Part 7, the one with Gyro. I forget exactly which volume that is for Part 7, but it's going to be on screen. You know exactly which one I'm talking about. That one is gorgeous. The art style for that is gorgeous. I think Araki's artwork, when it's colored, is when it looks best, in my humble opinion. So... yeah, although I don't even think that's a hot take. My least favorite, probably something from Part 2, because it's Part 2. But yeah, there's some of my opinions regarding some manga covers with different series. If you want to see me do this, but a little more rapid fire, just give me a list of series that you'd like me to go into my favorite and least favorite, and then maybe that could be a Part 2, who knows. As always, this has been The Masked Man. Hope everyone has a blessed rest of the day, and peace.